Now, I know from reading your material and having an opportunity to meet you on several occasions before tonight's interview that you developed some skill sets. You have an educational background you're going to tell us a little bit about, but some of your skill sets, what really drove you into thinking about moving to the next level of service as an elected official?
Well, I didn't mention earlier, but I'm a police officer, been a police officer for 15 years. Having worked in the streets, living in these different communities, having relationships in these different communities, I got an opportunity to see and understand the needs in the 10th district. And instead of just talking about it, I decided to do something about it. So about 10 years ago, I just got active in my community, volunteered as a basketball coach, done some mentoring, got involved with some community organizations, and I've just been trying to make a difference ever since.
So, I mean, we had a discussion off camera where you had stated that you will continue to be involved in some of the activities that you're involved, but you can make a choice to stay on another 15 years and retire. But you believe, and other people have encouraged you, they've come to you and said, Eddie, maybe God has something much greater in store as it relates to service. And I think you said that you were already kind of thinking along those lines, but sometimes when we get a little push from our friends, it helps reinforce.
It does. It's like it was spoken into my life. Even though I had been thinking about it, I have a desire to just help. I understand all the needs. I understand the crime that's taking place in our communities. I understand the joblessness, the hopelessness, and I want to do all I can to help. So you're right when you say that I have, and people have spoken that into my life.
I mean, when it comes to safety and security and the protection of the community, the police, they do play a role. But you were sharing with me that there's other things that can be done on a legislative level in Springfield that could help keep your finger on the pulse of funding.
That's correct. You know, you have crime that's taking place in a lot of these different areas. And being a police officer, I understand the arresting aspect of it, the enforcement end of it. But also being a police, it gives me experience to understand what our needs are. So going to Springfield with that experience, it will equip me. I've been equipped with the understanding of what will work in the different communities of the 10th district.
Well, that's good. And not only will you represent the people in the 10th district, but being in Springfield, not only do you have to vote and think about the interests of those in the 10th district, you got to think about the people of the city of Chicago that live in other districts, think about the people in the counties, and think about the people in other counties in Illinois. So sometimes you're going to interact with other state reps from other parts of the state, and you were sharing with me how you're going to be open and receptive to listen to some of the issues that are systemic to their particular geographic areas.
Absolutely. Just as I have on the police department, I not only worked in my community, in my district, but I worked in other parts of the city as well. So just as I've formed relationships and have understandings of different needs in other communities, I'll do the same thing as a legislator.